What's good, everybody? It's your brother, Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So I'm getting ready to do something really toxic here, folks. And that is I'm going to take to task this certain individual who is basically running another one of these YouTube psyops on social media. And there is a man on here by the name of the Angry Biracial. And basically all he does is make videos disparaging and tearing down black men and making it seem as if all black men do is attack and destroy black women. Okay? And he basically took cues from people like Tommy Sotomayor and Cynthia G, where you find whatever negative story or negative posts on social media about a black woman or a man, and then you apply it to all black people within that gender. And when he does this, he makes sure to pander to the black male haters out there. So black male haters in the black community include black feminists. This includes black women who believe in that whole intersectionality nonsense, or black females who are part of the divestment and swirl movements. And, Angry Biracial is very much a proponent of telling black women that they need to go get a man of a different race, especially white men. So he praises black women for wanting to get with white men. Now, he claims to be part black and part, or you think he says his mother is from Egypt. I can't confirm that. Okay, I don't know if that's true or not. And I feel that this person is probably not black at all. This is just a person from another country who has always had misgivings and destructive thoughts about black people as a whole. And he's found a niche on social media to tear down black men, because it's easy to do that. If you want to come into the black community and get money from black people, you come in here and you attack one gender or the other. This is how that nasty redheaded skank Pearl was able to come into the black manosphere, and all she had to do was talk negative about women and black women, and she got a whole bunch of you simp ass dusty Negroes to support her. Okay? So this dude is doing the same thing. Angry Biracial does the same thing, but he does it from the other side. And I can tell that this is a psyop because YouTube gives him all types of views. He gets views from all these accounts, these sock puppet accounts, and these swirlers and whatnot, and they promote his videos across social media. I know it's some BS, because if you were to do any type of YouTube channel where you're being disparaging, like if you did a video every week talking about bad about white men or white women every week, they wouldn't allow your channel to stay up. But if you get on social media and you talk trash daily about black men or black women, they'll let your channel stay up. If you feed into this whole gender war bullshit, they'll let your channel stay up. They'll encourage your channel to give you views and make sure that it's disseminated through the algorithm to make sure more people get on your channel and enjoy your BS. Okay? So, and you can just look at Angry Biracial's YouTube videos, like, just to prove my point about what he's doing as far as doing propaganda against black men. He has titles like "Black Man Wants to Take the Clothes off of his biracial daughter's back," "Black Man Kills Black Woman and Eats Her Lungs," "White Man Expresses Why Black Women Are Amazing." So, like, once again, he advocates for swirling. "Dusty Threatens to Rape Black Girls on a Train." "Black Women is Tired of How Black Men Treat Black Women." "Black men have internalized racism and misogyny." "Black men are the main pushers of colorism." And what's some of the other ones he has here? "James Earl Jones and his preference claims black women, this, that, and the third." So just all types of nonsense surrounding the painting the narrative like all black men are Mr., from The Color Purple, or all black men are Ike Turner, okay? And, you know, the video that got my attention, it just came across the algorithm on one of my other channels where I don't even watch political things, but it came across my algorithm and I'm looking at it, I'm like, what in the hell is this? And the video is called Jewish Man Checks Black Man for How They Treat Black Women. And when I saw it, it annoyed me at first, but then, you know, I calmed down and I started using my logic. And I went to this guy's channel, the Angry Biracials channel, and basically he's doing commentary on this TikTok video that he saw of this Jewish man, I guess, doing commentary on these black male goofies who disparage black women on TikTok. I've told you about how TikTok is. TikTok is one big minstrel show from the perspective of both genders, by the way. There are black men on there acting ignorant, and there are black women on there acting completely ignorant, okay? And like I said, that platform pushes ignorant black people forward to make money off of our destruction and make money off of this buffoonish gender war trash. And, you know, Angry Biracial puts this video up there, and then he does his little commentary trying to affirm what this Jewish man has to say. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the audio here of what this Jewish man has to say about black men and how they treat black women. And then I got some rebuttals for the Jewish man specifically, and I dare Angry Biracial to address any of the things that I put in this video. And I have to be careful what I say, but I'm going to play the audio and the evidence so that way it's not just me talking at you, because I guess if I just say it, then that means I'm promoting hate speech. But I'm just going to play what I find in the news and in the media, stuff that I actually know. Okay, and then I'll just give my little bit of commentary at the end, and that'll be it. But let me play what this Jewish man has to say first, and you folks can hear it for yourselves. I'm not going to play the video, but I'll play the audio so you folks can hear what he has to say about black men and how black men treat black women. Now, he's showing or reacting to a video of a black man dumping water into a sink. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he's talking about. All I'm going to say about that is there's a plethora of coons and buffoons on social media doing all types of dumb things, especially on TikTok. So if any adult is watching TikTok and taking it seriously, there's something wrong with you, okay? I don't know what these idiots are doing, but you can't take any of it seriously. Once again, there are black men and black women on there acting ignorant and disparaging each other. It's shameful and despicable, but for me to take that and then apply it to all black women or all black men is asinine. But that's the game they want to play on this channel because, like I said, it's a psyop. So I'm going to play their game back at them. Since we're playing psychological warfare, let's play it for real. Let me play what this Jewish man says about black men and how they treat black women.
If my Jewish mother saw me disparaging Jewish women, or any women for that matter, online for clout, she would end me. That'd be it. And look, plenty of you are going to say, hey, sit this one out. It's none of your business how black men talk to black women. You're right. I'm not tone policing this guy. But I am particularly disturbed by this video because black women, dark-skinned black women in particular, are probably the most patient people on this planet because they themselves are the victims of more violence and vitriol than any other group ever. So yeah, to hear that they're being labeled as innately violent by a black man might be especially hurtful. Again, I know this isn't my business, and I'm not going to tone police this man, but I do wonder what his black mother thinks about this shit.
Other race.
His black mama is saying, shut your mouth, small hat. That's what his black mama is probably saying. But first of all, let me just say to this person, you can tell that this is a psyop because he's pandering. He's using all the buzzwords. He's talking about, he's specifically saying, oh, dark-skinned black women are so abused and, they're the most patient people. Like, stop that nonsense, okay? Stop that nonsense. He's already playing into the whole colorism thing to appease black females out there. And let me tell you something. For the black women who can hear me about this type of stuff, when this Jewish man or Angry Biracial says this sort of thing, they think you're stupid. Okay? That's why they're doing it. They think you're stupid, and they know that they can take advantage of you if you go for this trash. If you as a black woman feel like these demons have sympathy for you, ask yourself, where in the hell are they when people like Breonna Taylor get murdered by the police? Okay? Where are they when Tatiana Jefferson is murdered by the police? You don't see any stories like that about black women or wanting to help black women when like Sandra Bland is murdered. Where are these white males then? Where are these Jewish males then? Where's Angry Biracial then? Nowhere to be found. These people are nowhere to be found when black people and black women especially need help, when black children need help. They're nowhere to be found, but they're here to foment this gender war trash over a TikTok video. Over a goddamn TikTok video. Okay? And then you have Angry Biracial after this video plays, he comes in with his nonsense. Let's go through what this Jewish man had to say. Because he says, I know it's none of my business, or what he would do, or what his Jewish mama would do if she saw him disparaging Jewish women on social media for clout. Well, let me ask you, Mr. Jewish man, he didn't give his name, so I don't know his name. But let me ask you, what's your Jewish mama got to say about all of the rabbis who molest children, and then to escape any type of prosecution, they flee to Israel? Does your Jewish mama have anything to say about that? Does your Jewish mama have an issue with that? Let's play a little bit of audio here, and let me ask, and let's see what his Jewish mama has to say about this.
A CBS News investigation has uncovered a loophole that allows accused and convicted American pedophiles to escape justice by moving to Israel. So Ian Lee has been following this for more than a year, and he traveled to Israel for this investigation. He worked with a group that tracks people accused of sex crimes, which estimates dozens of Americans have used this loophole.
So, he's 6'2".
We are on a stakeout looking for this man, Jimmy Julius Caro, 48 years old, and wanted on charges of sexually assaulting a 9-year-old girl in Oregon back in 2000 and a 5-year-old girl in Israel in 2001. He's considered dangerous. But these photos are a few years old, so we don't know if he'll look the same. He remains elusive. Previous attempts to capture him have failed.
Obviously, the fear that he would somehow figure out that anyone's looking for him and bolt. He just called his number.
Shauna Aronson got a tip that Caro's expected at this clinic near Tel Aviv.
Who's going to call?
She's with JCW, Jewish Community Watch, an organization that hunts down accused pedophiles who flee to Israel from the U.S., exploiting a process called Law of Return, whereby any Jewish person can move to Israel and automatically gain citizenship. Amna, not her real name, is the person on the other end of the line. She was a little girl when Caro entered her life.
I was 4 or 5 years old. My mother was on bed rest. My father was a rabbi, so he wasn't really home. He used to come to our house. We used to play games, and then it became sexual. I'm going to give you a cookie because you do it so nicely. It's all about the cookie. It's all about lying, and it's all about being so evil to a little child. He also threatened me. He would kill my parents. He would choke me. He would hurt me. He would kidnap me.
How did that affect you?
A lot. Yeah. It affected my whole life. My whole life is around this sexual abuse and rape. Yeah.
Amna turned to therapy and art to help deal with the trauma.
This is in my bedroom and my inspiration.
She paints and writes poetry, but she's still angry that it was allowed to happen in the first place.
What are your thoughts on him being able to come to Israel and flee the United States?
It brings up a lot of anger and a lot of frustration towards the Israeli system.
Shauna says the failure begins in the U.S.
Why would someone want to help one of these pedophiles escape?
Oftentimes, there's some sort of community incentive. Either somebody owes them a favor, or someone in the community, let's say an institution, has covered up for them in the past, and they know that if this goes to court, there's a lot of civil liability coming down the line, and it's going to cost a lot of money to a lot of people, and nobody wants to deal with that.
The ease with which pedophiles seem able to use this law as an escape route haunts victims like Mendy, who says he was abused from age 8 by a teacher at an Orthodox Jewish school in Los Angeles.
So your classroom is right here. How does it feel being back?
I was very anxious and, stressed coming back here. A lot of memories coming through my mind.
Memories of his alleged abuser, Mordechai Yom Tov, who taught him Hebrew studies when he was just 8 years old.
So in the beginning, he would just rub me outside of my pants, and then I would say about 3 to 4 months later, he started going in.
Reaching down your pants?
Yeah, it's reaching down.
Why did you feel like you couldn't tell anyone?
I was scared. I was ashamed. I just didn't know what people would think of me, of the whole situation.
Yom Tov pled guilty in 2002 to sexually abusing and committing lewd acts against 3 other boys. He served jail time, but when he was released, he violated his probation and, according to JCW, fled to Israel with help from individuals within the Orthodox Jewish community. JCW tracked Yom Tov down and confronted him with a hidden camera in Jerusalem, where he admitted to illegally fleeing the United States with help and using a fake passport to enter Israel.
So what you got to say about that? Okay, is it a problem? And let me play this for you, because I found this when I was doing research for this video. I found this very interesting. Here's a rabbi making light of the sexual abuse of children and people who have been sexually abused by some of these rabbis and whatnot. Because I guess a Jewish man mentioned this while he was on a date, and the rabbi is making jokes about the molestation. Let's listen to this.
He said he was molested for 3 years by a family member, and he feels he's okay. And he went out with a girl, and after a while he revealed that to her, and she dropped him because she said, if you feel okay, something must be wrong with you.
What's wrong with him is that he mentioned it. No, they asked me that. I'm going to start going out. Do I have to tell that I was molested? I said, do you have to tell that you once had diarrhea? It's embarrassing, but it's nobody's business.
So yeah, it's just embarrassing, folks. It's just embarrassing if you've been molested, apparently. So what's the Jewish mama got to say about that? Okay, so am I to believe that this Jewish man has time to disparage black men and how black men treat black women on TikTok, but he has nothing to say about how these Jewish people treat their children and how they're the men and the older men and the people that are supposed to be their elders, how they're allowed to abuse children and then use loopholes and laws that are in their home country and escape prosecution? He has nothing to say about that, but he has all the smoke for black men. Interesting. So some will say, this has nothing. You know what, man, black, you're talking apples and oranges. That's two different things. How black men treat black women and how Jewish men and their rabbis, how they treat their children. That has nothing to do with black women. You're making a bad correlation. That's a straw man argument. Okay. So let's talk about how these people, how Jewish people, especially in Israel, how they treat black women. Black women from Africa, like Ethiopia and other places that immigrate to Israel because they have the same religion. A lot of those people from Ethiopia consider themselves to be Jewish or Hebrew, so they moved to Israel to live there. And whatever issues they were having in their own home country, they want to move to this land that is promised to them in the Bible, the same way these European Jews did, right? But, when they get there, they get treated completely differently. And especially the black women get targeted. So let's listen to what happens to these black women when they move to Israel. And let's see what the Jewish mama has to say about that. Let's listen.
Here is your African true story. Ethiopia how Israel sterilized Ethiopian Jewish immigrants without their knowledge. Israel is believed to have been giving Ethiopian Jewish immigrants birth control injections, often without their knowledge or consent, over the years. After 5 years of denial, Israel government officials finally admitted to targeting Ethiopian Jewish immigrant women with long-acting contraceptive injections without their consent. Most of the women were either coerced into accepting the Depo-Provera injections while living in Israeli-run transit camps in Ethiopia, or were unaware that the injections produced temporary sterilization. After arrival in Israel, the Ethiopian immigrants still received Depo-Provera in disappropriate numbers in the HMOs providing healthcare services. Nearly 144,000 Ethiopian Jews have moved to Israel under the law of return since the 1980s, but their Jewishness has been questioned by some rabbis who have said that African immigrants threaten Israel's existence as a Jewish and democratic state. Ethiopian Jews living in Israel have long complained of institutional racism and violence at the hands of the government and law enforcement. Statistics show significant inequalities between Ethiopian Israeli and the rest of the population. Ethiopian soldiers are sent to military prison at a higher rate than other groups and are arrested in civilian life at a higher rate than the general population. In 2017, approximately 4% of Israeli Defense Force soldiers came from the Ethiopian community, yet they accounted for 15.0% of female and 10.78% of male prisoners, according to the Association of Ethiopian Jews.
Yeah, so there you have it. So there is a concerted effort by the government of Israel to sterilize the black women there. So if you're so concerned, Mr. Jewish man, and your mama is so concerned about how black men refer to black women or how they make jokes about black women on TikTok, where's your concern for the sterilization of black women in Israel against their will? They did not consent to this. They did not ask for this. But you're sterilizing them because you don't want the population of black people growing over in Israel. You want to keep Israel all white. That's very peculiar for someone who claims to be a different race or to have a different mentality than the people that persecuted you in Europe during the 30s and 40s. You see? So when it's convenient for you, ethnic cleansing is a good thing. When it's your country, then it's okay to ethnically cleanse people and to destroy them and destroy their race, right? But when it happens to you, it's a bad thing. Then it's a tragedy. Then it's a Holocaust. But when you do it to other people, then it's okay. Then it's just, you're just trying to keep it 100% white Jew all of a sudden. Trying to keep your race pure all of a sudden. It's okay for racial purity when you do it. But when someone else does it to you, then it's horrible. Then it's a tragedy. You see what I'm saying? So what does this Jewish man and his Jewish mama and Angry Biracial have to say about that? You see? So this is why I don't like playing these games with these people online. This is why I don't allow stuff like this to just go on without me acknowledging it and without me getting on these folks, because you can't sit here and sit on your high horse and pretend that you care or you want to protect black women. All you're doing is fomenting this gender war trash. If you truly want to help black people, you would be trying to help black people heal in their relationships. You wouldn't be demonizing all black men or all black women. And you know how I get on both of these groups. I don't approve of either of them. I don't support the manosphere. I don't support the black feminists. I don't support divestors. I don't support swirlers. I don't support any of this trash. It's unhealthy. There's no maturity in it whatsoever. And it's a mess. All it's doing is creating a more of a mess for the next generation and keeping black people apart. And black people, the black man and the black woman being together is the strongest and most powerful force that could destroy white supremacy. That's why you have all these agents like Angry Biracial and others on social media trying their damnedest to keep us apart. That's why you have so much propaganda telling black women, go ahead and get yourself a white man. That's why you have all this bullshit propaganda and Pearl telling black men, go ahead and get yourself a white woman. Go get yourself a passport, go to another country and impregnate another woman, and don't care about your black community. Go out there and think you can separate from your black community with another woman and another vagina. See, that's why there's so much propaganda to keep us apart. It's all about separating us to make us weaker and breed us out and destroy us. And dumb Negroes keep falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. And I'm tired of it. Okay? It's starting to stress me out to the point where it makes me angry. I'm frustrated and angry and depressed as soon as I wake up in the morning. I'm tired of seeing it. And if my only option is to push back against it and go hard on these demons out here and these agents and these psyops and everything else, I will do that to my last dying breath. But I'm starting to really get tired of it. It's making me sick. Okay? So you folks can let me know how you feel about all this in the comments section. Let me know what you have to say to Angry Biracial and his, Mr. Jewish man and his Jewish mama. Ask them what they have to say about their own community and what's going on in their community. I'm not going to tell you to mind your business. Go ahead and say what you want to say about black people and black relationships. But just so you know, if you can ask these questions, I'm going to ask you some even more important questions about what's going on with your people. And I didn't even get into all of it. Okay, I just gave you 2 examples. There's a lot more I could have got into. Okay, but I'm letting you breathe a little bit with the questions that I asked to you. Okay, you let me know how it's okay for you to treat your children like that, and it's okay for you to sterilize and abuse black women, but you have a problem with what's going on with dumb Negroes, goofy Negroes on TikTok. Okay, so you can go ahead and run your little psyops. If this is going to be psychological warfare on social media, it's all good. I can go just as hard as you can. I can go even harder. And it'll just be a war of attrition if that's the way you want it. But I'm serious about wanting to protect and to build the black family and not letting you demons keep tearing it apart. You got a long head start, but don't underestimate our resolve. All right? Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on these devils' back.